Hello, hello. Happy February. Happy Monday. What do you feel like is stopping you? Let's just go right to the juicy stuff. What do you feel like is stopping you from already having the business, the income, the schedule, the clients, the life of your dreams, like that big flourishing vision? Like, what do you feel like, what do you feel like is stopping you? And don't say you don't know what it is, because I always like challenge my clients when I'm coaching. If somebody says like, I don't know, I'm like, what if you did know? What if you actually deep down inside, tuning into your intuition, you know what it is that's like your block? Like, what is that thing for you? Of like, here's where you want to be, here's where you are. What is it? Let's hear what's coming through. Deborah says, lack of confidence to actively pursue clients. What does that look like for you, Deborah? Actively pursuing clients and the lack of confidence to do so. I wonder if you are making like pursuing clients, like if you're making it be one thing where like one thing over here that maybe you see other people doing, and maybe that doesn't feel in alignment for you right now, and that's why you're not doing it. But I wonder if there's another thing you could do that would feel good for you and that would feel in alignment and you do feel confident right now doing. Like, what is that action? Is it just like going to a networking event in your local area with other boss babe women and just connecting and not even putting pressure on yourself to pitch yourself or pursue them as clients, but more of like, what if I just show up and I connect with two people and I just get their Instagram, start following and engaging with them, and that's it. I don't put pressure on it for them to become a client. I just connect with them. Like, what is something you could do that would feel good for you? Because I think we sometimes look at what other people are doing and we think we need to do that too. And it might be too big of a jump. Like, if you had told me out the gate, day one, Meg, you need to go on Facebook Live and talk to dozens of people, I would have been like, what are you talking about? You are crazy. I am not getting on Facebook Live. That's crazy. People are going to think I'm insane. What am I even going to say? I'm going to look like an idiot. I'm not good on video. I would have so many stories and blocks because I wasn't ready day one. But fast forward to like, what is this? 7 years. Here I am talking to you guys. This feels totally easy to me. I'm confident and I don't even think twice about getting on this live with all of you because this is 2,000 days in and I've built myself up to this point by taking little steps. And so I want to encourage you, Deborah, and anyone else who can relate to Deborah, like not feeling confidence to pursue clients. What do you feel confident doing? Is it making an Instagram post? Is it just sharing your recent client session and tagging your client and telling a story about the photo shoot? The other part of the game with social media to really make it work for you is engagement. And I don't think people talk about this enough. All I see is, here's how to make your reel go viral. Here's 5 content ideas. Here's like what's trending with, what's it called? Reels. But nobody's saying like, here's the 5 things I'm doing behind the scenes to engage with my ideal clients and get seen more from them. Like for me, I do, and some of you have probably received this from me on Instagram, my team, we do a welcome message for anyone new who follows me. We personally reach out in the DMs and like, thank you for joining my community. Let me know if you have questions. That one simple thing, but we do that for every single person who follows me. And since I've been doing that, I've noticed a difference in my retention of followers on social media. And I've noticed like my following is growing faster. I'm almost at 10,000. I just noticed that. And I'm like, oh, probably gonna hit 10K this month, which is so cool. Because this has been over 7 years. It's more than 7 years I've had my Instagram. This has taken me to get there. And you know, it's like, how many welcome messages have I sent? Thousands. Personal DMs to people. And so you guys don't see that happening, but that is how I'm connecting with my clients. And also another thing I do is, I don't do this as much right now, because I'm pretty booked up and I don't need clients like this month. But in the beginning, like the first few years of my business, when I was going to networking events, my goal was always connect with 2 people who like I genuinely like, and ask for their Instagram. Hey, can I get your business Instagram? I'd love to follow you. Follow them, engage with them. I put them in my future client folder if I could see them as a client. And that way they don't kind of get lost in the algorithm, but I can go to that folder once, twice, 3, 4 times a week, and I can just click on them, all my future dream clients that I'm manifesting, and I can go leave comments, and I go watch their stories, and I go engage with them. I DM them. So I don't know how many of you are spending as much time engaging with your people and building relationships with them as you are like worrying about like who's engaging with you, who's liking your stuff, who's seeing your stuff. Like what I found on social media is like you do have to give sometimes to get. Sure, sometimes we just put this amazing post out that goes viral, and once we have our community built, like we can put something out and it's going to get seen, it's going to get noticed, it's going to get hearted, it's going to get shared, and that's great. But in the beginning, y'all, I was spending way more time finding my ideal clients online and giving to them and engaging with them and resharing their stuff and posting and like DMing them. Like I wasn't just waiting for people to see my stuff. Johanna said, fear, I'm definitely pushing myself beyond my comfort this year. Yeah, girl, and stepping out and doing more connection marketing. Love it. Confidence in pricing. Yeah, so in my experience, confidence comes from taking action in the presence of fear. That's my definition of confidence, is taking, it doesn't have to be big action, but taking baby steps forward even when you are afraid. Sometimes I think we put pressure on ourselves, and like I know I do this because I'm a perfectionist. I'm a type A, recovering perfectionist, but I still consider myself a type A. Like I obsess about the details, and like I like when I show up and do something, like I want to go all in. I want to make it like grand. Like I want to make it the best ever. So like even going to a networking event in the past, I put pressure on myself of like, what am I going to say for my elevator pitch when I stand up and say what I do? Like I have to have the perfect thing dialed in. And I put pressure on myself, absolutely. And so if you're doing that, like notice yourself if you're making something bigger than it is. And that's why you have fear around it. And that's why your confidence feels like out of whack, because maybe you're putting too much pressure on yourself to show up in a certain way or to be like that person or to be 100 steps ahead when really you're on step number 3. You're not on step 100. You're not on step 874. Or like I said, my example earlier, I've been in business 7 years. You're not on day 2,500. Maybe you're on day 10. And so it's like we have to gauge like what is that little thing I can do today that I'm a little afraid of, but that feels doable. Like I can do this today. If I just do that one thing, the next step will come, the next step will come, the how will come. But what is the one thing I can do today? Helen, I feel like I'm 58 and I'm too old, even though I'm not old in my head. I love that. I know, I feel like a playful, youthful energy about you. Helen, let me ask you this. How do you think your clients feel who are 58, 60, 65, 47, and they want to pursue what they love to do? They're tired of working for someone else and doing passionless work. They want to pursue their labor of love, just like every one of us are doing here. And they want to show up on social media, but they don't have photos they feel confident about. They don't feel like they look good. They haven't had a photo shoot for 10 years, so they feel like an imposter sharing photos from 10 years ago. How do you think they feel? And can you support them in getting some fresh photos, in creating a fun, empowering experience for them on a photo shoot at your studio? Can you lead them into their next step? Remember, it's not about it's not about doing everything right now, right? It's like, what is the next step for them? It's probably a photo shoot that would help them feel really confident and start putting themselves out there more and get over their own imposter syndrome of I'm too old. And you're the best one to do it for them because you get it. You can relate. You feel this too sometimes at your age. And can you speak on this? And can you go and make a post like, today, you know, I had a thought that I'm too old, even though I'm not old in my head, LOL. And then you just kind of like rant, just open up, just talk freely about how you, as somebody who is 58, have overcome, because you're here today, you have your business, you're doing it, you're taking action, you're putting yourself out there. Like, how have you overcome that in the last 6 months, in the last year? Like, what are a few steps you took that built that confidence for you? And can you share that as your content and your story to attract in the perfect aligned clients you can support? Johanna is pivoting her business to support, to empower women and moms in portraits. I love that for you so much. Hey, Melissa. I'm overcoming my fear of planning events like mini sessions in case nobody comes, but I just did and only have 2 spots left after 1 week of marketing. That's incredible. Excited because if I can do more of these, I can have more control of my schedule. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy you overcame that fear and you just went for it and you launched your mini session days. And it's like, even if you had only got 1 person, that would have been a success. And even if you got nobody, it's still a success when we put ourselves out there and we launch something new and we try, because we're going to learn stuff from that. We're going to learn, we get to take information, it's feedback, and then we can pivot and fine tune and figure out how to market it better next time. But you, beautiful Melissa, oh, it sounds like you pretty much almost filled your mini session day. You only have 2 spots left. Okay. After 1 week of marketing, so it's going to fill. It's already full. I don't know when the date is, but I'm sure you have, if you have at least a week to fill those 2 spots, done. It's already done. It's full. So what are you going to do to celebrate once you fill those 2 spots, Melissa? We want to always maximize our effort when it comes to marketing. So how can you spark more engagement, Deborah? I would start with engaging with 30 of your ideal clients each day, like you going and leaving comments on their recent posts, watching their stories, 30 people who are active, like they're posting pretty regularly, and they're business owners. If you do that for a month, Deborah, if you commit to doing that, and this, it'd probably take you probably a good solid hour a day you're spending to find these people, connect with them, engage with them. You're keeping up, engaging with a few people every day. Your social media would get a lot more eyes and views and engagement, and you would be seeing better results. And you don't have to keep that up forever, but sometimes we need these little sprints, or we do these little trials, right? So we could say, oh, for February, I'm going to do this every day and just see what happens. And it's just like a test, right? And you're measuring your engagement, you're measuring your results, how many leads are coming to you through social media. Like if in January you got no leads from social media, and then in February you got 2, 3, 4, 5 leads, that's a huge win. That will show you, oh, this is working. This is generating new leads. What is one thing you've been doing for your marketing in the last 6 months? No, not even 6, 3 months that has worked for you. And when I say worked, it's you have gotten new leads that have turned into clients from this marketing source. What is something you've done that has worked as a photographer? For me, I've been getting referrals coming in. I've been getting return clients. I did a holiday special, end of the year special. And so I got a couple older clients who were like, ooh, yes, I'm ready to do another mini session day because I launched a special offer for them. And sometimes that kind of sense of urgency when people know they're going to get a bonus or a discount, that kind of works to get people in. And because of this, my last mini session day, I didn't even have to market. It filled 7 spots just from past clients, or that week, a couple of people that had reached out to me. And I was like, well, I am doing a mini session day. And they're like, perfect. I want a spot. And it filled with a lot of ease. And that was really, really nice. Helen says a women's networking group she's going to is working. Amazing. In-person networking is the best. It just like feeds my soul to connect to people in person. Oh, and somebody mentioned this earlier I want to address about being introverted and how scary that can be to go network when you are introverted. I think over the years, I've become more introverted. I need a lot of alone time to balance like being social and being with people. You might think I'm just like a social butterfly over here, but mostly I'm like momming hard, working hard with my clients, and then I'm like chilling at home. Like this last weekend, like Saturday, Sunday, we were just like at home. I did a Costco trip. I did the grocery store, but I just like took it easy because last weekend we did have people over one day to hang out and it was great. But I'm like, okay, now I just want to be alone. So with networking, this has looked like for me, I sometimes have got like social anxiety or nervous, like on my way to an event. And not saying this is the best thing, but one of the groups I used to go to, they would always have like champagne. So I would like get some champagne. It kind of helped me like relax a little bit and like open up a little more and feel a little more bold to like approach people. So that helped. Not saying you have to drink though. The other advantage that we have as photographers that is like so good is like this is what I did. You can sponsor an event and do some event photography for them and be the sponsor. And this can look like a trade if you do it strategically, like where they have to like give you a shout out on their website as a sponsor in their newsletter that goes out to everybody who comes to the events and tag you on social media. That's what I did. And I would deliver like 20 images from the event or something. Like I wouldn't like over deliver. And I was really clear about this up front where I was like, I'm going to give you 15 to 20 images you can use from the event. But I still want to be networking. I don't want to be shooting the entire time. So I'm going to be kind of like taking some pictures, then like putting my camera away and then like taking pictures. And I did that. But what was really cool is at the event, it gave me like an excuse, like a reason to like approach people. Cause I would like come up and be like, hey, I'm Meg. Do you mind if I take a quick picture? And it'd be like, let's say it's a group of like 3 or 4 people talking at the event. And I just kind of walk up awkwardly, just kind of waiting for my moment. And they'd be like, oh yeah, sure. And so I'd take the picture. Or I don't even think I wouldn't even say I'm Meg. I would just like walk up awkwardly and they'd kind of see me with the camera. Obviously I'm the photographer. So I'd say, oh, can I take a picture of you guys? Smile, you look so good. Love it, ladies. And I would turn my energy up a little bit, which I do on photo shoots with clients. Like I turn my energy up, which I do on like when I'm on a live and things. And I'd dial it up a little bit, and then that was the perfect moment to say, by the way, I'm Meg. So nice to meet you all. I'd love, like, what's your business? I'd love to hear about your businesses. Or I don't know, I would just say something that felt natural for me and authentic in the moment. Or I'd be like, oh, look how cute that photo is. And it was just like an easy way to break the ice and start a conversation. So if you are not doing this already, if you're not sponsoring a networking group that you feel really, called to and you feel like it's your people, like you feel connected to the group, I highly recommend you do that if you have the time to photograph the event and then deliver 20 photos to them after. Like it's not like you have to deliver so many photos. It can be a really fair, energetic exchange that can feel good and feel easy for you. Tiffany says, being consistent on social media, I'm gonna start focusing myself to go more in-person networking meetings though. Yeah, I mean, Tiffany, when you show up on social media, you kill it. Tiffany's in my mastermind and I've been watching her social and she's amazing. Like our social media is like a show that people tune into. We all have our own show and we all have little quirks and different things about us that are unique to us. That is like I told Tiffany this, like show your animals. Like that's so cool. She has birds and I think you have bunnies, right? Am I making that up? Like, and I'm like, I love seeing like your animals. That's so cool. Like I'm fascinated by it because I don't have pets and animals of my own. but I like animals and I like seeing other people's animals. So it's like, what is unique, something unique to you that you could be showing just that you do every day, and you're just showing the behind the scenes of your life so that content creation is easy. You don't have to like think of some new crazy idea. And that's what I love about social media right now, is that's what is working on social media. It's just like, put up a camera, flip it around, narrate what you're doing. You don't even have to have your face on camera. You can just be like, hey, I'm on a walk right now. And you don't have to always post in the moment. I know that can like really throw me off if I'm wanting to be present. But I will like, let's say I'm like with my kids and I'm at the park and I'll take a video and then I'll put it away. And then later when I'm back in my car and I like pull in my driveway and I look back and my kids are sleeping in their car seat, and I'm like, ding, 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 this is the perfect time to post content and catch up. So then I'll go on my camera roll and be like, what do I have to share? What did I do today that I got a couple videos of? And I can like take a few minutes in that moment while the boys are sleeping to post. Yeah, we just have to like you said, you just had to get over it the first time talking on your stories. Anything we do is going to be uncomfortable in the beginning. Like you guys going to an event and talking about, I'm a branding photographer and I work with female found brands. I love helping you feel confident on camera. Then that's going to feel awkward to talk about at first because you're just starting, or maybe you just haven't talked about it in that way before. So of course it's going to feel weird because you haven't done it. And there's a part of you that gets to fake it till you make it and just do it anyways, even though you're a little afraid. And then you'll realize, oh, I did it. Like the more you show up online and as a personal brand and create content and talk on stories, the less and less you care about what people think. Like I go on social media, like this morning, I quickly got on Instagram. You can go look at my stories. And I said, hey guys, I'm going to go live in 5 minutes. Can't wait to chat. Was I thinking about the 1,000 people who follow me that I know from like high school or San Diego, or that is my cousin or my aunt? No. When I went on and I said like, hey, I'm getting on my Facebook Live soon to talk, I was thinking about you guys. Like I was thinking about some of you who are on here watching, and that's who I was talking to. Like I don't care who else sees it or what they think, because it's not for them, and that's fine. They'll just like click through and move to the next story, or swipe and go to the next person's, story bubble, whatever you call it. I think we worry too much about what other people think about us. And we all do that sometimes, and we just have to get over it. And it's a mindset, and we just have to remind ourselves like, no, think about that person you want to reach, that you're speaking to. Think of that person this is for. Talk to them. Just talk to them. Another thing that helps me is sometimes, like a lot of times I'll post on stories and I don't go back and watch it. Because sometimes if we go back and watch ourselves talking, or like this live, like I'm not going to go back and watch myself. It just is what it is, because I will be overly critical sometimes, or like I'll get in my head or be like, ugh, why did I make that face? Or I could have done this differently, or why am I sitting like that? Or, like I'll get in my head. And so I just won't watch it. I just create content, put it out there, and try not to overthink it, because it's like whether it does great or not, it doesn't matter, because you're going to have content that is amazing and resonates, and 100 people like it and engage with it, and then you're going to have content where only 2 people see it or like it or engage with it. It doesn't mean one was better than the other, and you don't know the impact that it's going to make like later. So you don't know if actually that one that you put out that only 2 people engaged with, there were 10 other people who saw it and read it. They just didn't like it, but it's like they appreciated it and it spoke to them, and now they feel more connected to you, and now you're more top of mind as a business owner. Yeah, stories equals practice. Exactly, Karen. Love it. Anything else coming up that you guys wanted to chat about? I think the prompt I gave you at the beginning was like, thinking about your bigger vision for where you want to be, let's say on December 31st, 2024, like what would be like incredible if you like your business looked like this, like thinking really, really big, anything's possible. Not thinking about the how you would get there, just thinking about like what would feel really good. What would be like a hell yes, I want that. Thinking about that vision, like what else is stopping you or feels like a block of you having that. I was in a program this month where we did journaling prompts every single day. And one of the prompts was like, make your fear list. Like, what is everything you're afraid of? Write it down. I was like, ooh, okay. And some of the things that were on there, I was like, oh, and that I just wrote down. I was like, I didn't even realize this is something I'm like, I have a block around. Like, I thought I got over this. I thought I was through this, but now it's coming up again. And then the second part of it was, now pick one thing from the list and do it today. And I was like, ooh. So I did it. And you know what? It felt really good. It wasn't that scary. I was like, oh, I was making this out to be bigger than it is in my head. And now that I've done it, like I already feel better about this thing. I already feel more empowered around this. And I already feel like I can keep up with it better. I can do it again and it won't be so scary. What do you do when your business just feels way too quiet? Yeah. I've definitely had those periods, whether it's like a couple weeks or a couple months, where for whatever reason, not getting in a lot of leads, I'm not booking new clients, my sales are down. Those are the times, Karen, where you get to really be in your power and remind yourself of your value, remind yourself of how amazing you are. Like, frankly, I have a brag list. So it's like, this is why I'm amazing. This is all the reasons, all the things I help my clients with beyond just giving them great photos. And it's good to reference that. It's great to breathe through your fan mail folder, like whatever you have to do to remind yourself of your greatness, and reminding yourself that like these periods are normal. And rather than discounting or going into scarcity or taking action from fear, because I've definitely done that and then I regretted it. like in those periods, there's been periods where I'm like, oh gosh, nobody's booking. I need to like discount, or I need to do a special, or I need to do something to rev up sales. Let's do this. And then I do it, but it didn't feel good. Like, I didn't do it out of excitement. I did it out of fear because I thought I was like, things were slow. And the problem with that is that sorry, my kids are distracting me a little bit because they're being loud. The problem with that is that, you know, it just doesn't feel good. Like if we give a discount or we do a special launch or promotion out of fear and scarcity, then when we go to serve the client and do the work and fulfill the photo shoots we sold, there's a disconnect, a misalignment. Maybe you are starting to feel like you're feeling burnout now, or you're just feeling like you're feeling a regret. Like, why did I do that? Why did I discount my stuff? And it's like, it's a hard cycle to break. It is. But the other option, so that's one option, one route that's available to us. And then the other potential is that we do nothing in those periods. We don't try to discount. We don't freak out. We just stand our ground. We stay in our power and we say, okay, it's a slow period. That's normal. This happens in business. The universe must be making space for me for something even better. Something even better is coming to me. And I just have to be patient and trust that I will get through this, and trust that everything's going to be okay, that I will be okay. I will always be okay. That's a belief that I have, is like, no matter what, I will always be okay. If my business just like burned to the ground tomorrow and I stopped getting all client inquiries, I believe I will always be okay. Like, I know how to make money. I know how to find clients. I can go out there. I can hustle again if I need to, and I will be okay. So it's like a belief that I have. And so I'm able to like sit through those slow periods knowing that there will be a client coming. Somebody will be coming. It's just a matter of time. And that doesn't mean to sit and wait. Like, I think we should also be taking action because we have more space to take action if it's slow, right? Then we get to work on, maybe there's a system or a project or something you've been meaning to set up in your business that you've been procrastinating on or delaying, or a personal project. Like, maybe this is the perfect time to like literally clean out your closet. And then once you do that, like, boom, like you're going to be back in alignment. The momentum's going to be there. The clients are going to come. The money's going to come. So sometimes asking yourself, like, what else can this mean? That's another question I use a lot. Like, what else can this mean? Okay, business slowed down. It just feels really quiet right now. What else could this mean? Could this mean that I actually have space to do that thing that I've been wanting to do? Could this mean that I need to shift my marketing strategies a little bit and maybe set something up so that next year at this time or in 3 months from now, I'm not going through the slow period. This doesn't happen anymore. Could this mean it's finally time to start blogging and getting organic SEO leads? Sometimes we are like, oh, we look at our calendar and we're like, oh, I only got like 3 leads. I got 1 person who booked this month, and like, I suck. Business sucks. Like, what am I doing wrong? Can you instead like really celebrate that 1 person who booked and just like give them the freaking world? Like, give them, now you have the space and time to give them the best experience they've ever had with a photographer and just blow their mind. Like, can you do that with every single person who walks in your door and be grateful for every single person instead of like, oh, but I need more. Oh, but I need more. But I need more. And I'm speaking from experience. Like, I've definitely been in those periods where I'm like, oh, great. I have like $5,000 came in, but I need more. I'm not even at 10K yet for the month. What the heck? And I'm not like, I'm not like, all of a sudden, like, I'm not connected with gratitude for those like 2-3 clients who booked, who are so aligned, who I'm so excited for. And like, if we shift our focus into like, instead of like what we still want, what hasn't happened yet, and we shift our focus into like just being so grateful and pouring into the clients we do have, that will change the game. And when we do that, like, things happen easier. Marketing becomes easier because those clients will come back again and again and again, and they're going to refer all their business besties to you. Like, it's like, sometimes it's like, what can we do that will have the most impact? And sometimes it's just taking care of the clients you do have now, even if it's just 1 person, like really pouring into them. Katie, do you have a typical response when a lead tells you that you are out of their budget? I do have a typical response in my email templates that some of you have in the course, in the Confident Brand Photographer course. There's like all my templates, because I use those in Honeybook in my Gmail. I'll pull it up and then I'll like customize that. But off the top of my head, I say thanks for letting me know. I totally understand if this is not in your budget right now. I look forward to working with you in the future. I'll let you know if a special is coming or if we have another mini session days. I feel like when I get that response, Katie, I feel like they usually also say, at least my clients usually also say, it's not a budget right now, but I'm gonna come back in a few months, or I think like next quarter, let me come back to you. Like, I feel like usually it's that, where they're like, I'm gonna come back later. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's not right now, but I can't wait to work with you when it is in your budget. I don't know. Just whatever feels authentic to you. But I do really appreciate when people are honest with me about that and they don't ghost me. So I always thank them. I'm always like, thank you so much for letting me know. I totally understand as a business owner. I get it. And I can't wait to work with you in the future. Something like that. Just keep it short, keep it simple. that's not a no forever to me. I think that's how I look at it too. I've had people that say that and they come back like months later, years later, and then they work with me then. Or like later when I launch a mini session day, they book that because it's a more affordable price point. And that's why I am a fan of like having multiple offers at different price points now, because of that reason. So you can have an offer that's perfect for somebody who's a newer business owner or just like on a lower budget. You can have an offer for someone who wants to go all in. They want your highest service. They want all of you. They want your full attention. They want you for a whole half day. They want all the photos. Like you can have an offer for that person because both people exist, right? So yeah, this was so fun, everyone. Thank you. I want to quickly announce for those of you still watching, I should have mentioned this earlier, I forgot. But masterclass coming up next week.